This is CCS-TV, empowering voices, inspiring futures.
At Southern Chautauqua Federal Credit Union, we believe in supporting our community and helping you achieve your financial goals and strive to make a positive impact for our members and the community. Our mission is to empower individuals with the skills and resources necessary to achieve financial freedom. As our members and the community achieve their goals, we fulfill ours, creating a brighter future together. Southern Chautauqua Federal Credit Union, your partner in financial well-being.
Welcome back to CCS Sportscast. I'm Sebby Gibbs. So Jamestown will be hosting the 75th annual Babe Ruth tournament for 13-year-old. So today I'd like to welcome manager Joe Crawford, the manager of the 2026 Jamestown 13U Babe Ruth World Series team. Welcome, Coach, and thank you for coming in. I know your staff couldn't make it today, but could you tell us their names so they can kind of be a part of this?
Absolutely. First of all, thanks for having me on here. We're excited.
Welcome.
And we're very excited to be coaching the World Series. So the coaching staff consists of myself, Andy Tobias, there's Brad Beckstrom, and then Mike Kapuzinski.
Okay. So what does it mean for you to be personally selected as the manager for the Jamestown host team for this year's World Series?
It's obviously a massive privilege. Like I said, we're super excited just to represent the town and the baseball in this community and show what we have.
Yeah, and I feel like it's also very special for you because your kid's on Team Braden. So I feel like that's...
So he played last year. Yeah, he was very fortunate. We haven't selected the team yet this year. We've had 3 evaluations. Our last one was last Sunday. So the evaluation team, which consisted of Jose Cruz, who was a coach last year, Deion Jackson, and then Mike, Brad, and myself. We went through. We had 3 different evaluations, and went through with all the kids and evaluated different aspects of the game and their effort, and then we've coming together with a pretty solid list so far. So we have 15 kids we're looking to keep.
Yeah.
Most of that list is already made up, so we'll make a decision by probably tomorrow, maybe Thursday.
Yeah. So how did the experience of hosting last year's World Series influence your goals and approach for the 2026 event?
It was nice. Like I said, that my son got to play last year, so I got to experience that firsthand. I was in the scenes, behind the scenes with Mike and assisting with fundraising and things of that nature. So it was nice being able to experience that and seeing the competition and the level of competition.
Yeah.
So basically it allows us to kind of start off strong and hit the ground running. So that's why big shout out to Deion Jackson. He has done a great job of marketing this for us on all social media platforms, newspapers, the news, everything like that. So it's allowed us to get a large quantity of kids to show up and kind of hit the ground, like I said, hit the ground running.
So what are the biggest lessons you learned from the 2025 tournament that you're applying to the 2026 tournament to become even better?
The largest thing we took away from it is to allow the kids to enjoy the experience. It's once in a lifetime thing. Obviously the teams that are coming in have been playing together for a long time. So like I said, we wanted to get started early to allow our kids to start practicing, getting together, building that team chemistry. Obviously, as a baseball coach, I'm big on team chemistry. That's the first thing for me. So the kids gel and you want to play for each other out on the field.
Yeah. So how are you preparing for the Jamestown team, both on and off the field, to compete on this high level? Again, like, these teams are very tough in this World Series.
Yeah. So again, it's going to come down to attendance, accountability, and team chemistry. So we're gonna basically put these kids in high pressure situations, because a lot of these kids come from teams where they're the best kid on their team. However, on this team, they're going to be 1 of 15. So we're going to basically use everybody's talent to hold each other accountable. As coaches, we're going to hold ourselves accountable as well, and then use that and the statistics from games, practices, and possible scrimmages that we're going to play, and use that as coaching experience for the kids to improve their abilities.
For sure. So what qualities do you look for these players in this tryout selection?
So we had a pretty big spectrum we were looking for. Athleticism, again, attendance. We want to make sure that these kids are fully committed to this team. Like you said, it's a high level of competition. So a lot of the kids in these areas and all over play travel baseball and play for their schools. So we wanted to ensure that they're committed to the program and committed to us because it's going to be, again, we have 165 days until that first game. So we don't have a lot of time to get them ready. So what we're going to do, we look for attendance, athleticism, effort, size, speed, and then the big thing was pitching and catching. Based off of last year, you can never have enough arms and you can never have enough catchers.
So what roles does the community support, including sponsors, volunteers, and host families, play in the success of the World Series in Jamestown?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the first part?
So what role does community support, including sponsors, volunteers, and host families, play in the success of the World Series in Jamestown?
It's a massive role. Without them, we wouldn't be able to host it every couple of years, and it wouldn't allow the kids to get out there. For example, there's different businesses that are sponsoring so that it's free for other kids and community members to go and enjoy it. So it also allows us to play in games. It allows the kids to get uniforms, and then it allows us to get with the kids in practice. So it's a very important role that they play.
Yeah, and you said again, like Deion Jackson, he's a big part in social media marketing, all that stuff.
Yes.
So in your view, what makes Jamestown's Babe Ruth series special compared to the other host cities?
I think it's obviously the historic Dietrich Park, and then the love for baseball in this community. I think that this community is very big when it comes to baseball. And again, that park is historic, so it's a very nice experience. Anytime you look on any social media posts from previous winners or previous teams, they constantly talk about the host team, the host community, and then the park.
So what are some new initiatives or events planned for 2026 that families and fans can look forward to?
Events for the World Series, you mean? I believe it's all about the same. They'll have the car show. We'll have different vendors and things like that. And then I believe that as of right now, as far as I'm aware, they're still looking to sell out the park so that they can get in for free.
Yeah, same. So same old, basically.
Yeah. Don't fix what's not broken. It's been great. Everybody loves it here, so don't change it.
Yeah. So how do you hope the team handle the pressures and expectations that come with being a host team in this tournament?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we always get the opening night game, so you're under the lights. Kids are used to playing travel ball and things, but they're not used to playing around under the lights with that many people watching. All of your family comes to town. There's other teams coming from all over the country and possibly world to play. So yeah, it's a big stage. So we're going to ensure that we put them in high pressure situations during practice and games. Really get them uncomfortable. That way they're uncomfortable at practice, and that way they're comfortable whenever we get into the games and under the lights.
Yeah, so my friend Joey, who's trying out at these, he is like, I talked to him about it a lot. He's saying it's going to be tough. Like, these stadiums are packed. They're more than these Tarp Skunk games. So I definitely understand that. So what advice do you give young players about teamwork and sportsmanship during a big event like the World Series?
What advice do I give them? Obviously, like I said before, I'm big on team chemistry. You're out there to help each other out. So basically what I tell them is that what you're looking for is put yourself in their shoes. So be the teammate that you would want somebody else to be. So basically be there to pick up your teammate.
Yeah. So how important is for local youth players to have role models like Max Miley was their last tournament, and other players to look up to during this tournament week?
Oh, it's a huge part of it. So yeah, we're gonna reach out to a lot of the players from the past and have some team meetings. We're gonna get our players. We plan to get our players out into the community this year. That's why we started everything so early. So we're gonna do team building exercises. We're gonna do team dinners, lunches, different things like that to get them into the community, and also to partner up with some of the previous players to express the perks and the pros and the cons of it, and kind of set them up for success.
Yeah, that team success is vital in this, sports in general. Team chemistry is vital.
Absolutely.
So, and last question here, can you talk about the economic and community impact that the World Series brings to Jamestown each year?
Oh yeah, it's massive. You got to think of how many different players, families, coaches are coming in supporting the local small business, the restaurants, the hotels, all of the community that's basically giving back to our team to allow us to play and experience this for the kids. So it plays a very vital role in supporting the town and keeping it up and running.
Yeah, like last year, kids from Australia, Connecticut, Texas came. So obviously a lot of new faces in Jamestown for that period of time. So thank you so much for coming in.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
We will see you guys on the next segment of CCS Sportscast.
Jamestown, New York is where innovation meets sustainable growth, fostering a vibrant community of creative, dedicated people who truly love where they live. It's a place where you can build a fulfilling life with excellent schools, quality healthcare, and a cost of living that supports your ideal lifestyle. Blending small-town charm with easy access to big city amenities, Jamestown is the perfect place to live, work, and raise a family. Jamestown, New York, the pearl of opportunity and balance.
Welcome back to the second segment of CCS Sportscast. I'm joined here by Max Miley, baseball player who played for the Babe Ruth team last year. So, what was your favorite, or what was your most unforgettable moment from last year's World Series experience, and why does it stick with you?
Probably the opening night. There was a lot of fans there, and the atmosphere was just really great. It was something I could never forget.
Yeah, playing on those opening nights, don't you get a night game every day from those?
Yeah, I think most of them were every day. We had like 2 or 3.
Yeah. So, how do you mentally prepare and how do you mentally and emotionally prepare before each big game in the tournament?
You got to expect a really good competition, especially at that level, and you just got to be ready, stay focused, and just stay focused and don't worry about the outside noise and just...
Yeah. So, can you describe how it felt stepping onto the field for your first World Series game?
It was crazy because like that field's super nice and not many people get to play on it, and it was just a great opportunity and to show our team's level of play and what we could do.
Yeah. So, what's one specific thing you learned about teamwork and communication that made your team stronger?
Because at first we were like all from different teams that we didn't know each other very well. But then as it kept going on, we got to know each other really well, and by the end, we were all really good friends.
Yeah. So, what was the toughest part about competing at the World Series level, and how did you handle it?
The teams were really good, and they had very good skill level and very good players that have been playing the game for a while.
Yeah.
And we just had to expect the best, practice hard every day, and just know what's coming.
Yeah, the kid literally hit it to the wall, dead center. That was,
Yeah.
I remember watching that. It was insane. So, was there ever a moment where you had to push and play through frustration? How did you stay focused in that stadium when there's lots of fans and there's loads of like pressure on you?
Yeah, definitely, because there was some games where we got down a lot. You just had to stay focused, try to chip at it piece by piece, and get closer.
Yeah. So, looking back on your performance, what is something that you would have done differently and why?
That's a good question. I would have probably been a little more mentally prepared before the games and just expected better, because I really haven't seen that level of play before, and it was kind of shocking once we really played against such good teams.
Yeah. So, what's your best piece of advice for this year's team to help them stay confident and motivated?
It's a great experience. Don't take anything for granted. Go out there feeling very confident every game, and just doesn't matter how good those teams are. If you play good, you can beat anybody.
Yeah. So how important is routine, like your warm-ups, your like pregame routine in general, before and during a big tournament like this?
It's very important because you want to be mentally prepared, and you want to get warmed up. You don't want to be tight. You want to make sure you get your arm loose and just stretch out and be prepared.
Yeah. So if you can share one tip about handling big pressure moments in the game, what would it be and how can they practice it?
Just kind of try to not listen to all the noise, just stay focused, and just expect what's coming.
Yeah, so out of all those games last year, you guys didn't have loads of success, but what was your favorite game to play?
Probably the last game. We played Utah.
Yeah.
And it was probably our best game. We scored a lot of runs that game, hit the ball really good. We couldn't come on top after.
So, also, what team do you think was the biggest competition? So, Tallahassee won it, correct?
Yeah.
So, is it Tallahassee? Who was the biggest competition to you guys, you think?
For us, I think it was Texas. We lost, I think, 16-0, something like that. They all hit the ball. Some of them hit it all the way to the wall. I mean, it was just crazy. And their level of pitching and fielding was just insane.
So, what position did you play during the World Series?
I played first base and outfield.
So, out of those two, what's your favorite?
It depends. I like wherever the ball goes.
Yeah. So, we will see you guys next segment of CCS Sportscast. We will be talking about combine, free agency, that stuff. So, we will see you guys then. Welcome back to the final segment of CCS Sportscast. I'm Sebby Gibbs. I'm very glad that Max and Joe Crawford could come in. I love those games. I love going to those games. Babe Ruth World Series, very fun. My buddy Travis got to bat boy for it last year, so we talked to a lot of players from Connecticut, around the world. Very cool experience for them. So last week we talked a lot about basketball. We had segments with the girls for basketball, and we talked a little about the boys a couple weeks ago. So here's an update. So Jamestown girls took an L to West Seneca West, so their season is over. They did not have a great second half. They had around 15 points in the first half. Excuse me, they did not have a great first half. They had around 15 points total in the first half. The second half, they turned it around. They had about 30 points total or around that, and end up closing strong. They do lose Jasmine Tonkin, Anna Inquist, and Abby Brandow heading into next season. But they have a lot of youth, as in Peyton Gibbs, Carly Daniels, Katrina Atkinson. Sunny Battle is going to be a freshman next year, 8th grader right now. Lots of freshmen. Their oldest player, well, they have 2 seniors, I believe, next year. But their core is these freshmen, I would say, because they have so much youth. Their teams are so young that I could see them making a deep run in the next few years. And these girls are going into their sophomore year, like Peyton, Carly, Katrina, and those girls. Nayani, Sophia, are all going into their sophomore year next year. So they have 3 more years of good ball from all of those girls. So they have a bright future, so I am excited to see what they do next year. For the boys, Jamestown boys won versus Niagara Falls. This was a very close game near the start, middle, almost to the end, and then Jamestown boys just took it over. Carson Milne doing a great job in the post there. Dominic Gonzalez, great job at the guard. They will go on to play Health Science. Health Science 1 seed versus 4 seed Lancaster. They absolutely blew them out. And this will be a very good matchup. It's at Buff State on Friday. I hope that I will be able to make that. That would be a very good game there. So, for football, there's been a lot of... We're entering the free agency stage. Combine is about over now, nearing the end. And we're entering free agency. So we have some moves already. First move, biggest move yet, David Montgomery gets traded to the Texans. David Montgomery, who is the backfield goal line guy for the Lions. Sonic and Knuckles, they call him. Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery traded to the Texans for Juice Scruggs, a 4th and a 7th rounder. So, some key takeaways from this trade, I would say, is that Texans offense is very young and talented. They have guys like C.J. Stroud, Tank Dell, Nico Collins. David Montgomery is a vet, but they're adding him, and that's a lot of talent right there. What he did in Chicago before he went to Detroit, he was very good in Chicago, and it's not like he was the goal line guy in Chicago. He was the workhorse in Chicago, and I think he would be the workhorse here in Houston. He is definitely going to produce more in Houston, being the number 1 running back. I can see him splitting some carries with Woody Marks, the rookie last year. So, my last takeaway from this trade is that Jahmyr Gibbs, for those of you who are in a fantasy league, he's the number 1 player in this fantasy year. He is the workhorse back. His numbers that he had last year, not being the workhorse back, is outstanding. He was top 10 in rushing yards, top 10 in touchdowns, I believe. And he was great. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs is one of the best running backs in the NFL. And guys like Saquon Barkley 2 years ago and Jonathan Taylor this past year, both were getting MVP talks. Jonathan Taylor not so much towards the end of the year, but I think Jahmyr Gibbs could definitely be one of those running backs who hit almost 2,000 yards in those MVP talks, because Jahmyr Gibbs, what we've seen him done already, his production is going to double almost. He's going to get almost all the carries in this backfield, but I could see the Lions going for a running back mid this draft, 3rd, 4th, 5th round, around there. But I feel like Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be great this upcoming year. So, franchise tags. Franchise tags are where, if you don't know, a player's contract is going to expire. They can't agree on a multi-year extension, so they will place the franchise tag on them. Franchise tag is a 1-year contract that gives them the average of the top 10 players, that the top 10 players at the position pay salary. They will give them the average of those top 10 players' salary. So the franchise tags that are major this year, guys like George Pickens was the number 1 free agent heading into this year, and he gets franchise tagged. And a team like the Bills, a team like, Carolina might be looking out to go get George Pickens to have a true number 1. Like, Carolina, not so much because Tedderell McMillan, but Carolina is looking out for a wide receiver because they do need someone to pair with him. But George Pickens is one of those guys who really I could see fitting anywhere. He is top 10 in yards last year, and he's a very talented receiver, so he will be on the Cowboys for 1 more year. And then the other franchise tag that was placed was Breece Hall. Breece Hall, running back for the New York Jets. And this one I saw coming. Breece Hall is one of their best players. They're really only running back on that roster, and the Jets are not looking great this year because Justin Fields most likely is not going to be the starter going into this year. They might stick with Brady Cook as the starter, so they're definitely going to need a running back like Breece Hall to help them for this next year. So I can see that. I think that's a pretty good move by the Jets there. And then cuts. There's 3 cuts total. The 2 that aren't as major are Jawan Taylor and Marshawn Lattimore. Marshawn Lattimore, cornerback for the Washington Commanders, longtime cornerback for the New York Saints. Great cornerback. He's getting older, so the production is going down, but I think he's still a very functioning player at that. And Jawan Taylor, tackle for the Chiefs. great tackle, but getting paid $20 million a year, linemen are very prone to getting these cuts a lot. So, and then the big one I would say is Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray, quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals, who got injured midway through last season and didn't play another snap that year. Kyler Murray, smaller side, but he's a great thrower. I mean, he got drafted 91st overall in the MLB, so he's a great thrower, great runner, smaller build, but he's a very talented quarterback, and I could see a team like the New York Jets, who we just talked about, going for him. I see a team like maybe even the Atlanta Falcons, who are cutting Kirk Cousins or plan to cut Kirk Cousins to pick up him to try to give Michael Penix a little bit competition. Another franchise, I missed one franchise tag, I will say. Another franchise tag is Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones will be on the Indianapolis Colts for one more year. So, and now let's talk about the Combine a little. I have 3 of the Combine's biggest winners now that's entering the end. So, I think this is the most obvious winner. Kenyon Sadiq, so tight end. He ran a 4.39 40, fastest by a tight end ever. He was second in vert jump with 43.5, bench press with 26, and broad jump 11 feet and 1 inch. So, very athletic tight end, similar to Kyle Pitts here that's on the Falcons, but very versatile, athletic tight end, and I could see him going mid-first round for sure. Next one, Sonny Styles. Sonny Styles is a guy who I thought the Bills could even get, which that's how he was mocking before this Combine. And then the Combine came around, and this guy is athletic. He had a 43.5 vert, 4.5 40, and he is likely to be a top 10 pick. People are mocking him going 2, 4, 6, anywhere around there, so he's very likely to be top 10. And the last winner, and I'm just saying this because this guy is not going to be a first-round pick. He was predicted to be a 7th-round pick, but he, in Daniel Jeremiah's, I believe it was Daniel Jeremiah's last draft, I'm 90% sure it's Daniel Jeremiah, but 3-round draft, and he's projected to go number 76 to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this is Drew Aller. Drew Aller, Penn State quarterback, broke his leg, somewhere in that area. Not exactly sure where the injury was, but he had a strong junior year, except that Notre Dame game at the end of the year in the college football playoffs. And then senior he came around, and he got hurt right off the bat. They lost to UCLA, got hurt, lost to Northwestern, and it kept on going, and Penn State was not good this year. As a Penn State fan, that was a rough year. Grunkemeyer got us through it. See, in Penn State, a lot of people are transferring now, but talking about the Combine, so Drew Aller is biggest, I think in general, is the biggest winner from this Combine. He looked way above expectations in these passing drills, and he did not participate in like the 40 or any of that stuff, I don't think, but Drew Aller looked way above expectations. So none of those guys I could see the Bills targeting, as the Bills already have a tight end and a quarterback. Sonny Styles, if they trade up, but that's not realistic for Brendan Bean and the Bills. But we will see you guys next week on CCS Sportscast. I hope you guys have a good week, and we will see you guys then.
Experience the difference buying your next pre-owned ride at Schultz. Certified technicians ensure our inventory gets up-to-date maintenance. Most purchases include a limited lifetime engine warranty and more. That's why we say you can't beat a Schultz deal.
I think that it's important to know what the kids are thinking about the community and what they can do for it. And get their point of view from it, especially the kids, because they're the future generations.
You get to do like fun TikToks and other like fun interactive stuff. There's a lot more behind the scenes to this club than just sitting and interviewing. It's a good opportunity, so try it out.